Okay, yeah. But yes, I would like to give the keynote, but it's okay.
So I will be in crowd.
Okay.
Please, otherwise I will. हेलो, आपका नाम चित्रा है? काम वाला वर्तन एडवांस ले लिया आपने? स्वामी जी इज गोइंग टू चैंट. शुरू में नहीं, शुरू में शायद नहीं आएंगे. रुद्रम हम लोग करेंगे. वो तैतरीय उपनिषद चिन्ह संकल्प स्टार्ट பண்ணலாமா? प्रमोद जी, Swamiji will do it. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Pranams to all our revered Swamijis, and welcome you all to join us in remembering and seeking the blessings of Pujya Swamiji and Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji on the 8th Aradhana day of Pujya Swamiji and 3rd Aradhana day of Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji respectively. On behalf of the board members and the Gurukulam staff, we welcome our revered Swamijis and Swaminijis and Brahmachari and you all, and also online viewers. As we begin our program, let me share a quote from Swamiji, Pujya Swamiji. Time rolls on in a procession of fresh movement, and the body ages. But the mind, living with fresh movements, is ever young. Time is devoured only if you take yourself as the aging body. It is no more so if you live in its content, the eternal now. The function will commence with the blessings of Pujya Swamiji, Swami Tattvavidanandaji, Tattvavidanandaji, and all our Acharyas. Today's special event includes the following: a brief sankalpa led by our Sri Priest Ganeshan. Priest will conduct Kalasha Puja. Rudrabhisheka will follow. Sri Rudra chanting and Taittiriya Upanishad chanting will be led by Swami Tattvavidanandaji. On behalf of Swamijis and all Swaminijis and everyone, I invite Swami Tattvavidanandaji to speak during Alankara. Swami Tattvavidanandaji's video message also will be played to conclude the first part of the program. The second part of releasing the books authored by Swami Tattvavidanandaji. I will give you the details when we get to that program. And acknowledging, thanking everyone for making this event a great success. So now I request Priest Ganeshanji to lead a very brief sankalpa. Thank you.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vigna Upashantaye Mamopaktam Samastam Duritam Kshayadvara Shri Parameshwaram Prityartham Tatheva Lagnam Sudinam Tadeva Tarabalam Chandrabalam Tadeva Vidyabalam Devabalam Tadeva Lakshmi Patete Angriyugam Smarami Adhyabhurvoktam Yevangunam Visheshanam Visishtayam Asyam Navamyam Shubhadito Sarvesham Bhakta Mahajananam Kshemasthairyam Dhairyam Virya Vijayam Ayurarogya Aishwaryanam Abhivardhyartam Dharmartha Kamamoksha Chaturvitam Phalapurushartam Siddhyartam Gurunam Prasatam Siddhyartam Yetesham Prasadena Sarvabhishtam Siddhyartam Dirghayushyam Siddhyartam Apamrityadosham Pariharartham Sarvarishtam Sandhyartham Sarvabhishtam Siddhyartham Asmate Gurunam Aradhanakyam Karma Karishyamaham.
Thank you, Ganeshanji. Move on to the next program, that priest will conduct Kalasha Pujas, invoking all the Devatas in that Kalasham.
Jnanam pratamam purastat vidhematasurucho vena avah sabudriya upasya nishta sadashayo nimasadasya vivah naketu varnamapayat patantakam mrita venanto abhyachakratutvat hiranyavaksham varunatsadodayavasyodotakanam varanyam apyaya svasametate vishvadasvamavritiyam Bhavavajasya sankate Yorudra aklau yosya bodhati Yorudra vishva bhuvana viveta tasmai rudraya namostu Idam vashtara vijakrame tredhani tadeputam samudhamasya bhagam sure Indram vishva avivrdhan sabadravya tadangrahat Rathidamagam rathidam bhajanagam satpadim padim Apo va itakam sarvam vishva bhutanyapa prana आपपतवापोन्नमापो मृतमापत्सम्राडापो विराडापस्वरापश्चन्दागस्यापो ज्योतिगस्यापो यजोगस्यापसत्यमाप सर्वा देवता आपो भूर्भुवत्सुवरापवम् कूर्चाग्रैराक्षतान् घोरान् छिन्दिकर्मविकादिनः त्वामर्पयामि कुम्भेऽस्मिन् सावल्यं कुरु कर्मणि वृक्षराजसमुद्भूताः शाखाया पल्लवत्वजः युष्मान् कुम्भेष्वर्पयामि सर्वदोषावनुत्तये नालिकेरसमुद्भूतत्रिनेत्राहृसंविता सिगयादिरितं सर्वं पापं पीडाच्यपेणुता सखिरत्नानि धातुषे तु वादितवितापकः तं भागं चित्रमीमहे इमं मे वरुणश्रुतिहवमध्यायमरुडयाम् तत्त्वायामि ब्रह्मणा वन्दमानस्तदा सा आस्ते यजमानो हविर्भिः अहेडमानो वरुणेखवोद्दुरुडं समान अस्मिन् कुम्भे सकलतीर्थाधिपतिं वरुणं ध्यायामि वरुणमावाहयामि वरुणस्यैदमासनं वरुणाय नमः सकलाराधनैस्वर्चितं गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः गुरुं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि यो मा आग्रे भागिरगं सप्तपथा भागं चिकीर्षति अभागमग्रे तङ्कुरु मामग्रे भागिनं कुरु भाग्यप्रददेवतां ध्यायामि आवाहयामि ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे अस्त्रवत्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पदान शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सेदसादनं महागणपतिं ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आवाहिताभ्यो सर्वाभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः रत्नसिंहासनं समर्पयामि पादयोः पाद्यं समर्पयामि अर्घ्यं समर्पयामि आचमनीं समर्पयामि भूर्भुवस्सुवः स्नानं समर्पयामि स्नानानन्तरम् आचमनीं समर्पयामि वस्त्रार्थम् उपवीतार्थं पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि आभरणार्थं पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि दिव्यपरिमलगन्धान् धारयामि हरिद्रा कुङ्कुमं समर्पयामि पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि ॐ वरुणाय नमः ॐ प्रचेतसे नमः ॐ स्वरूपिणे नमः ॐ अपाम्पतये नमः ॐ मकरवाहनाय नमः ॐ जलाधिपतये नमः ॐ तीर्थराजाय नमः ॐ सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि धूपदीपार्थं पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि भूर्भुवस्सुवः समस्तोपचारान् समर्पयामि अभिषेकम्.
I will get ready for Abhishekam. Swami Tattvavidanandaji will lead Shri Rudram chanting. Please follow Swamiji. And Chandraji, please provide mic to Swamiji.
ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यवतो देशवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु जन्मने बाहुभ्यामुदते नमः यादेश शिवतमा शिवं मधुमते नमः शिवाचरव्यायातवतया नो रुद्रमणया याते रुद्रशिवा
तनूर्भोगापापकाशिनी तयानस्तनुवासन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः यामिषं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्ष्यस्तवे पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशाच्छा वदामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मकं सुमना असत् अध्यवोचदधिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यो अहीगुश्च सर्वान् जम्भयन् सर्वाश्च असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये क्षेमागं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रिताः सहस्रशो वै वो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहाद्यः दृष्टो मृडयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानो हन्तेभ्यो करन्नमः रमुञ्च धन्वनस्त्वमुभयोरात्नियोर्ज्याम् याश्च ते हस्त इषवः पराता भगवो वप अवतत्यधनुस्त्वगुं सहस्राक्ष నిశీర్య శల్యానాం ముఖా శివో నః సుమనా భవ విజయం ధనుః కపర్దినో విశల్యో బాణవాగుం ఉత అనేషన్నస్యేషవ ఆభురస్య యాతే హేతిర్మీఢుష్టమహస్తే బభూవ తే ధనుః తయాస్మాన్ విశ్వతస్త్వమయక్ష్మయా పరిభుజ నమస్తే అస్త్వాయుధాయానాతతాయ ధృష్ణవే ఉభాభ్యాముతే నమో బాహుభ్యాం తవ పరితే ధన్వనో హేతిరస్మాన్ వృణక్తు విశ్వతః అథోయ ఇషుధిస్తవారే అస్మన్నిధే హితం.
భగవన్విశ్వేశ్వరాయ మహాదేవాయ త్రయంబకాయ త్రిపురాంతకాయ త్రికాలాగ్నికాలాయ కాలాగ్నిరుద్రాయ నీలకంఠాయ మృత్యుంజయాయ సర్వేశ్వరాయ సదాశివాయ శ్రీమన్మహాదేవాయ నమః.
నమో హిరణ్యబాహవే సేనాన్యే దిశాంచ పతయే నమో నమో వృక్షేభ్యో పశూనాం పతయే నమో నమః సస్పింజరాయ త్విషీమతే పథీనాం పతయే నమో నమో బభ్లుషాయ పతయే నమో నమో హరికేశాయోపవీతినే పుష్టానాం పతయే నమో నమో భవస్య హేత్యై జగతాం నమో నమో రుద్రాయ తతావినే క్షేత్రాణాం పతయే నమో నమః సూతాయ పతయే నమో నమో రోహితాయ స్థపతయే వృక్షాణాం నమో నమో మంత్రిణే వాణిజాయ కక్షాణాం పతయే నమో నమో భువంతయే षधीनां पतये नमो नम उच्चैर्घोषाय क्रन्दयते पत्तीनां नमः कृत्स्नवीताय धावते सत्त्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्याधिन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः ककुभाय स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गिण इषुधिमते तस्कराणां नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्तायूनां पतये नमो परिचरायारण्यानां पतये नमो नमः सृकाविभ्यो जिघागुंसद्भ्यो मुष्णतां नमो नमो सिमद्भ्यो नक्तञ्जरद्भ्यः प्रकृन्तानां नमो नम उष्णीषिणे गिरिचराय कुलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नम इषुमद्भ्यो वो नमो नम आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नम आयच्छद्भ्यो वो नमो नमोऽस्यद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः नेभ्यश्च यानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः स्वपद्भ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च नमस्तिष्ठद्भ्यो धावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्योऽश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमाव्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः तृगुंहतीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो वो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथिभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रुभ्यः संग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कम्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च नम इषुकृद्भ्यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यश्च वो नमो नमश्वभ्यश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च नमो नीलग्रीवाय च शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दिने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय च नमो गिरिशाय च शिपिविष्टाय च नमो मीढुष्टमाय च सुमते च ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च नमो अग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नम आशवे चाजिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीभ्याय च पुण्याय चावस्वन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वीप्याय च नमो ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय चापरजाय च मध्यमाय चापगल्भाय च नमो जघन्याय च बुद्ध्नियाय च शोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः उर्वर्याय च खल्याय च श्लोक्याय चावसान्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्ष्याय च श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेणाय नमः शूराय चावभिन्दते च नमो वन्मिने च वरूथिने च नमो बिल्मिने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय चाहनन्याय च नमो धृष्णवे च प्रमृषाय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिणे चेषुधिमते च नमस्तीक्ष्णेशवे चायुधिने च स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमस्रुत्याय च काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूद्याय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्ताय च कूप्याय च वट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च मेघ्याय च विद्युत्याय च नम ईध्रियाय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्मियाय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शृङ्गाय च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हनीयसे च वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च पूर्याय च पाद्याय च वाद्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय नमः आतार्याय च लाद्याय च नमः शिष्ट्याय च फेन्याय च नमः सिकत्याय च प्रभात्याय च नमः हिरण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किंशिलाय च क्षयणाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुलस्तये च नमो घोष्ट्याय च गृह्याय च नमस्तल्प्याय च गेह्याय च नमः काट्याय च गह्वरेष्ठाय च హ్రదయ్యాయ చ నివేష్ప్యాయ చ నమః పాపుంసవ్యాయ చ రజస్యాయ చ నమః శుష్క్యాయ చ హరిత్యాయ చ
నమో
లోప్యాయ చోలప్యాయ చ నమ ఊర్వ్యాయ చ శూన్యాయ చ పల్న్యాయ చ పన్నశయ్యాయ చ నమోపగురమాణాయ చాభిఘ్నతే చ ఖిదతే చ ప్రఖిదతే చ నమో వక్కిరికేభ్యో దేవానాగం
హృదయేభ్యో
నమో విక్షీణకేభ్యో నమో విచిన్వత్కేభ్యో నమః నిర్హతేభ్యో నమః వత్కేభ్యః ద్రాపే అంధసస్పతే దరిద్రన్నీలలోహిత ఏషాం పురుషాణామేషాం పశూనాం మా భేన్మా రోమో ఏషాం కించనామమతే యాతే రుద్రశివా తనూ శివా విశ్వాహ భేషజీ శివా రుద్రస్య భేషజీ దయానో మృడజీవసే ఇమానం రుద్రాయ తమసే కపర్దినే క్షయద్వీరాయ
ప్రభరామహే మతిం
యథా నశ్యమసద్విపదే చతుష్పదే విశ్వం పుష్టం గ్రామే అస్మిన్ననాతురం మృడానో రుద్రోతనో మయస్కృతి క్షయద్వీరాయ నమసా విధేమతే యచ్చంచయోశ్చ మనురాయజే పితా తదశ్యామ తవ రుద్రప్రణీతౌ మానో మహాంతముతమానో అద్భకం మానభుక్షంతముతమానభుక్షితం మానోపదీ పితరం మోదమాతరం ప్రియామానస్తనువో రుద్రరీషః మానస్తోకేతనయే మాన ఆయుషి మానో గోషు మానో అశ్వేషు రీషః వీరాన్మానో రుద్రభామితో వధీర్హవిష్మంతో నమసా విధేమతే ఆరాత్తే ఓఘ్న ఉత పూరుషఘ్నే క్షయద్వీరాయ సున్నమస్మేతే అస్తు రక్షాజనో అధిచ దేవ బ్రూహ్యథా చ నశ్యన్మ యచ్చద్విబర్హాః స్తుహి శ్రుతం కర్తసదం యువానం మృగన్న భీమముపహత్నుముగ్రం మృడాజరిద్రే రుద్రస్తవానో అన్యంతే
అస్మన్నివపంతు సేనాః
పరిణో రుద్రస్య హేతుర్వృణక్తు పరిద్వేషస్య తున్మతిరఘాయోః అవస్థిరా మఘవద్భ్యస్తనుష్వమేధ్వస్తోకాయ
తనయాయ
మృడయ మీఢుష్టమశివతమశివో నః సుమనా భవ రమే వృక్ష ఆయుధం నిధాయ కృత్తిం వసాన ఆచర పినాకం బిభ్రదాగహి వికిరిద విలోహిత నమస్తే అస్తు భగవః యాస్తే సహస్రగుం హేతయోన్యమస్మన్నివపంతు తాః సహస్రాణి సహస్రధా బాహువోస్తవ
హేతయః
తాసామీశానో భగవః పరాచీనాముఖాకృధి సహస్రాణి సహస్రశో యే రుద్రా అధిభూమ్యాం తేషాగుం సహస్రయోజనే వధన్వాని తన్మసి అస్మిన్ మహచ్చన్నవేంతరిక్షే భవా అధి నీలగ్రీవాశ్రితికంఠాః శర్వా అథః క్షమాచరాः నీలగ్రీవాశ్రితికంఠాదివగుం రుద్రా ఉపశ్రితాः ये वृषेषु सस्पिञ्जरा नीलग्रीवा विलोहिताः ये भूतानामधिपतयो विशिखासक्कपर्दिनः ये अन्येषु विविध्यन्ति पात्रेषु पिबतो जनान् ये पथां पथि रक्षय ऐलवृदायव्युधः ये तीर्थानि प्रचरन्ति स्रकावन्तो निषङ्गिणः य एतावन्तश्च भूयागुंसश्च दिशो रुद्रावितस्थिरे तेषां सहस्रयोजने वधन्वानि तन्मसि नमो रुद्रेभ्यो ये पृथिव्यां दिवि अन्नं वातो वरुषमिषवस्तेभ्यो दश प्राचेर्दश दक्षिणादश
प्रतीचि
दशोदीचेर्दशोर्ध्वास्तेभ्यो नमस्ते नो मृडयन्तु विष्णो यश्च नोद्वेष्टितं वो जिह्वे दधामि
त्र्यम्बकं
यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् यो रुद्रो अग्नौ यो अप्सु य ओषधीषु यो रुद्रो विश्वा भुवना विवेश तस्मै
रुद्राय नमो अस्तु
तमुष्टु हि यस्विषुसुधन्वा यो विश्वस्य क्षयति भेषजस्य यक्ष्वामहेसौ मनसाय रुद्रं नमोभिर्देवमसुरन्दुवस्य
अयं मे हस्तो भगवान् अयं मे भगवत्तरः अयं मे विश्वभेषजोऽयं शिवाभिमर्शनः एते सहस्रमयुतं पाशा मृत्योमर्त्याय घन्तवे तान् यज्ञस्य मायया सर्वानवगिजामघे मृत्यवे स्वाहा मृत्यवे स्वाहा
नमो भगवते रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि रुद्रो
रुद्राय विष्णवे मृत्युर्मे पाहि
ओम
शांति शांति शांति.
Let's wait for a couple of minutes to settle down with the micy thing. Please follow Swamiji while chanting this Brahmavalli. It's very important. Let Swamiji's voice be prominent and all of you please follow. Yes. Swami.
ओम सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यंकरवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेद निहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेति तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरापः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणः पक्षः अयमुत्तरः पक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति अन्नाद्वै प्रजाः प्रजायन्ते याः काश्च पृथिवीगुश्रिताः अथो अन्नेनैव जीवन्ति अथैनदपि यन्त्यन्ततः अन्नगुं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठं तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते सर्वं वै तेन्नमाप्नुवन्ति येन्नं ब्रह्मोपासते अन्नगुं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठं तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते अन्नात् भूतानि जायन्ते जातान्यन्नेन वर्धन्ते अद्यतेति च भूतानि तस्मादन्नं तदुच्यत इति तस्माद्वा एतस्मादन्नरसमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मा प्राणमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविध एव तस्य पुरुषविधताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविधः तस्य प्राण एव शिरः व्यानो दक्षिणः पक्षः अपान उत्तरः पक्षः आत्मा पृथिवी पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति प्राणं देवा अनुप्राणन्ति मनुष्याः पशवश्च ये प्राणो हि भूतानामायुः तस्मात् सर्वायुषमुच्यते सर्वमेव त आयुर्यन्ति ये प्राणं ब्रह्मोपासते प्राणो हि भूतानामायुः तस्मात् सर्वायुषमुच्यत इति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मात् प्राणमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मा मनोमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविध एव तस्य पुरुषविधताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविधः तस्य यजुरेव शिरः ऋग्दक्षिणः पक्षः सामोत्तरः पक्षः आदेश आत्मा अथर्वाङ्गिरसः पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कदाचनेति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्मान्मनोमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मा विज्ञानमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविध एव तस्य पुरुषविधताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविधः तस्य श्रद्धैव शिरः ऋतं दक्षिणः पक्षः सत्यमुत्तरः पक्षः योग आत्मा महः पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति विज्ञानं यज्ञं तनुते कर्माणि तनुतेऽपि च विज्ञानं देवाः सर्वे ब्रह्मज्येष्ठमुपासते विज्ञानं ब्रह्म चेद्वेद तस्माच्चेन्न प्रमाद्यति शरीरे पाप्मनो हित्वा सर्वान् कामान् समश्नुत इति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य तस्माद्वा एतस्माद्विज्ञानमयात् अन्योन्तर आत्मानन्दमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविध एव तस्य पुरुषविधताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविधः तस्य प्रियमेव शिरः मोदो दक्षिणः पक्षः प्रमोद उत्तरः पक्षः आनन्द आत्मा ब्रह्मपुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति असन्नेव स भवति असद्ब्रह्मेति वेद चेत् अस्ति ब्रह्मेति चेद्वेद सन्तमेनं ततो विदुरिति तस्यैष एव शारीर आत्मा यः पूर्वस्य अथातोऽनुप्रश्नाः विद्वानमुल्लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चन गच्छति आहो विद्वानमुल्लोकं प्रेत्य कश्चित् समश्नुतावु सो कामयत बहुस्यां प्रजा येति सतपोतप्यत सतपस्तप्त्वा इदगुं सर्वमसृजत यदिदं किञ्च तत्सृष्ट्वा तदेवानुप्राविशत् तदनुप्रविश्य सच्चत्यच्चाभवत् निरुक्तञ्च निलयनञ्च विज्ञानञ्च सत्यञ्चानृतञ्च सत्यमभवत् यदिदं किञ्च तत्सत्यमित्याचक्षते
तदप्येष
श्लोको भवति असद्वा इदमग्र आसीत् ततो वै सदजायत तदात्मानग्रस्वयमकुरुत तस्मात् तत्सुकृतमुच्यत इति यद्वै तत्सुकृतं रसो वैसः रसगृह्येवायं लब्ध्वानन्दी भवति को ह्येवान्यात् कः प्राण्यात् यदेष आकाश आनन्दो न स्यात् एष ह्येवानन्द याति यदा ह्येवैष एतस्मिन् दृश्येनात्मीये निलक्ते निलयने भयं प्रतिष्ठां
विन्दते
अथ सोऽभयं गतो भवति यदा ह्येवैष एतस्मिन्नुदरमन्तरं कुरुते अथ तस्य भयं भवति तत्त्वेव भयं विदुषो मन्वानस्य तदप्येष श्लोको भवति भीषास्माद्वातः पवते भीषोदेति सूर्यः भीषास्मादग्निश्चेन्द्रश्च मृत्युर्धावति पञ्चम इति शैषानन्दस्य मीमांसा भवति युवा स्यात्
साधु युवाध्यायकः
आशिष्ठो दृढिष्ठो बलिष्ठः तस्येयं पृथिवी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स एको मानुष
आनन्दः
ते ये शतं मानुषा आनन्दाः स एको मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये
शतं मनुष्यगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः
स एको गन्धर्वाणामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये शतं देवगन्धर्वाणामानन्दाः स एकः पितॄणाञ्चरलोकलोकानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये शतं पितॄणाञ्चरलोकलोकानामानन्दाः स एक आजानजानां देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये शतमाजानजानां देवानामानन्दाः स एकः कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दः ये कर्मणा देवान प्रियन्ति श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये शतं कर्मदेवानां देवानामानन्दाः स एको देवानामानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये शतं देवानामानन्दाः स एक इन्द्रस्यानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य
कामः तस्य
ते ये शतमिन्द्रस्यानन्दाः स एको बृहस्पतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये शतं बृहस्पतेरानन्दाः स एकः प्रजापतेरानन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य ते ये शतं प्रजापतेरानन्दाः स एको ब्रह्मण आनन्दः श्रोत्रियस्य च कामः तस्य स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स य एवंवित् अस्माल्लोकात् प्रेत्य एतमन्नमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं प्राणमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं मनोमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतं विज्ञानमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति एतमानन्दमयमात्मानमुपसङ्क्रामति तदप्येष श्लोको
भवति
यतो वाचो निवर्तन्ते अप्राप्य मनसा सह आनन्दं ब्रह्मणो विद्वान् न बिभेति कुतश्च नेति एतगुं हवावन तपति किमहं साधुना करवं किमहं पापमकरवमिति स य एवं विद्वानेते आत्मानग्स्पृणुते उभे ह्येवैष एते आत्मानग्स्पृणुते य एवं वेद इत्युपनिषत्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Pranam Swamiji, and we successfully completed the chanting of Sri Rudram and Brahmavalli. Now on behalf of Swamijis and everyone, I invite Swami Tattvavidanandaji to speak during Alankara. Okay. If others are also 5 minutes, then they can come. We have no problem. We didn't plan it. So I welcome anyone who wants to come and say for 5 minutes. They're all welcome.
अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hari Om. It's a beautiful day. We have all gathered here to celebrate the Aradhana of Pujya Swami Dayananda Saraswati Ji and also Aradhana Mahotsav of Pujya Swami Pratyagbodhananda Ji. What I see on this Aradhana day is only the vision of Pujya Swamiji, vision in action. Even as Pujya Swamiji was in physical form, he was a vision. He is a vision. That vision has no time, no space. That vision has no boundaries, because that vision is the grand vision of Advaita Vedanta. An all-encompassing vision. Through that vision, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people turned into students of Vedanta. And the institutions Pujya Swamiji established became an umbrella under whose shade one could grow. And I personally, to add, I grew under his shade, under his light, under that umbrella. All our institutions, Arshavidya Gurukulam Salisbury, and all the other ashrams are these umbrellas, where one can take refuge, where one can relax, where one can contemplate in the vision of Vedanta, through the teachings of Pujya Swamiji, and through the teachings of all the acharyas that he created. So this day, I see this vision in action, the vision of compassion, vision of knowledge, vision of oneness that Pujya Swamiji taught all of us and then it continues because it has no time, no space. It continues to be there. So on this day, I offer my pranams to Pujya Swamiji and also to Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji. I had so many fond memories with him as Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji used to visit Bangalore every year for a Bhagavata Saptaha. So happy to be on this occasion. And let us all take this day as an inspiration to look within and to inquire further and be soaked in Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Swamiji. You have been credited 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Yes, so it's open session. Anyone wants to come? Because I don't want to differentiate anyone. So Sachidanand Swamiji, you want to say anything? Muktatmanji, Coimbatore Swamiji, Swatmanji Arishore. Quickly, you want to say something about Pratyagbodhanandaji for 2-3 minutes?
Timer is on, so Shraddhatmanji is managing time, so I just want to make sure that he's okay. Hari Om, Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. My pranams to all Swamiji, Swami Tattvavidanandaji, Swami Muktatmanji, and everybody here, all Swamijis here. And so I met Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji in 1992 first, and then we had a conversation. I was in my college then, and then after that I only met him in 2010 when he had come to Salt Lake City. I had invited for his Bhagavatam in Salt Lake City. And somehow that gap didn't feel like it got filled when I saw him first time there. And then after that, only during the course, I met Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji. So that's when I was into Pujya Swamiji's course. And I remember Pujya Swamiji saying in one of the classes, he was looking at the time and saying, I might be speaking of limitlessness, but I'm still bound by my time. Pujya Swamiji's words I remember as we are managing time here. So Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji, when I met during the course, he would say simple things like, Beta, Sat without Chit is Jada, and Chit without Sat is Kshanika, and Ananta without you is Anta. So simple things like that he would say. It was all very high Vedanta in a simple way, like a thumb rules. At the same time, he will come to me and say, I want to learn Navagraha Sukta from you. So that is how the relation built up during the course. And then from there onwards, no turning back, because once Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji takes someone, then he is with him forever. So I went with him, and first time I was exposed to Bhagavatam. And so much teachings, all in terms of stories. And regarding Vairagya, I would say, there was one Mahatma, and this Dhanika, one rich person, would go to him and give him a lot of money and tell to that Mahatma, is there anyone who has given like me to you, Swamiji? He would put 1 rupee on that and give him back and say, is there anyone who has given you back like me? So likewise, he would have some very simple stories regarding Vairagya and so many other things. Time flew with Swamiji. And even I still see people coming to meet me and say their experiences with Swamiji. And as Sachidanand Swamiji shared, I've heard Swami Muktatmanji share his experience with Swami Pratyagbodhanandaji, which I even don't know. And our Swami Swatmanji also would say that how Swamiji will stand in front of his kutia until he takes sannyasa or something like that. He was giving a nice story also. So many stories with Swamiji. And even at the end, Swamiji had a very glorious time. Swami Tattvavidanandaji was there on that day with us, and he even came back and told a joke. Upon the stage he was there, Swamiji said, everyone spoke so much about Vedanta, and he said, I'm not going to speak about Vedanta. He mentioned that thing as he was waiting for Swami Tattvavidanandaji to speak. And he also said that he stepped out of the stage. It was COVID time, and he came back and stepped back and said, I always, people expect me to say a joke. And he said, the father is asking the son to show his report card. And the son says, because it was COVID time. Father, I will show, provided he keeps some social distancing, because not a good score, I think so. So likewise, it was always a lot of good time with him, and I really, many of you here also know some experience. I just want to say this, that it was all, all of a sudden it happened, and still we feel that, we're missing him, but we can always remember how fortunate we are to have been during those times when Swamiji was with us, so we can count our blessings, and we can continue to be inspired and continue our journey. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you, Surya. Been credited by 1 minute. So I take permission from all the Mahatmas that they just want to bless you, all of you, from the distance. And now on behalf of everyone, I kindly request Swami Tattvavidanandaji to come and say a few words.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Atmaswarupa Buddhagana. Dear friends, it is my great privilege and joy to be in your midst on this auspicious occasion of the Samadhi day of Pujya Swamiji and also of Shri Pratyagbodhananda. And I am at a loss of words what to say about Pujya Swamiji. So much is said about Pujya Swamiji already. So much was written and chronicled, and really speaking, there is not much that I can add to that volume of things that are already said about Pujya Swamiji. What I noticed quite often was people end up telling about themselves instead of telling about Pujya Swamiji. In the name of saying something about Pujya Swamiji, they end up saying about themselves. And that is how it happens. That is how the human mind works. And that was one reason why I was not saying much. Because I started speaking about Pujya Swamiji and go on speaking about oneself. So I was shy about it, and I did not give any speeches about it, about Pujya Swamiji. But today, I decided to put this shyness aside and say a few things. So now you will decide, you will know whether I am saying about Pujya Swamiji or about myself. That is how it works. It works exactly that way. So in 1997, I went to Coimbatore to attend Pujya Swamiji's classes, and then at that time I was teaching a class also when Pujya Swamiji takes rest. I was teaching a class to that group of students, 3.5-year course students. And all of them, many of them are big acharyas now. They were sitting in the class. And so at that time, the classes were from sometime from December or January 1998 to April, it's like that, or May. Then he said, you come down to Sailorsburg. But then there is a visa. So I did not have time to visit Visa Venkateswara Swami temple. And went directly for visa. I told you, instead of saying about Swamiji, I am saying about myself. That is how it works. It always works like that. So, and visa was given. And I was not sure whether it will be given or not also. I did not have many documents also. Whatever was there, I put before him. And he asked one question. Is it the first time you are going to America? I said, yes. Okay, then go ahead. So he gave the visa. For that reason he gave it, I don't know. So I came here, and while I was in Coimbatore teaching a class and attending all the classes of Pujya Swamiji, I used to scribble something there. I was not a big temple visitor even in those days, but used to go to temple occasionally. And then I listened to these namas, long namas. Generally Sahasranama means all will be short. Only Lalita Sahasranama has long namas, and these 108 names are very long. So if in an Anushtup meter, one entire line is taken up by one nama. So I was hearing these namas on and off. Then when I was free, I was scribbling, note the nama, and then scribble a commentary on the nama in Sanskrit. because many of the namas were enigmatic, and people generally they don't pay much attention to the meaning and all that. That is how human mind works. Therefore, I was just trying to scribble a few lines about that particular nama. And in those days, Srinivasan, Pujya Swamiji's secretary, was my buddy. I was sitting with him and discussing a few things. One day, I put these 4 pages in my book and then left it on his table and went somewhere. So he came back in the night, the book fell below, the papers came out, he took them, read them, and Pujya Swamiji was retiring, taking rest in his room. He took these 2-3 pages to Pujya Swamiji and showed him without my permission. Had he asked for my permission, I would not have allowed. I was not writing a book or anything, just scribbling. Then Pujya Swamiji read that scribbling in Sanskrit. So my handwriting must have been all right, even in Sanskrit. And therefore he could read it. And then he called me and said, "You are doing a great job. Only 4 namas are written. What about the other?" I said, "I have no plan at all. I have no plan to write any commentary like that." "No, now you make a plan and write it." So then I took a vow. Every day, 1 nama, I will write a commentary in Sanskrit. So that is how next day I started. The first name also, I have rewritten the commentary. Then the second name next day. After 108 names, the commentary was ready. Then I thought, it is in Sanskrit, started in Sanskrit. Many people may not be able to understand it. So you need to have some good Sanskrit knowledge and all that. So better to provide a translation. If we do it in Telugu, who knows in Coimbatore? Not many. Therefore, an English translation would be a good idea. Then I thought of doing it myself. But then I thought, I would write in Sanskrit and then I translate in English. That may not be the right thing to do. So I have Sri Puppala B with me. He is a great linguist, engineer and a great linguist and a great scholar of Vedanta, attending my classes. I requested him. He immediately translated. And then the manuscript was ready. Swamiji was here. I was also here. I came here. He was not well. He was sick. Came back from the hospital and he was taking rest. And then he said, during my rest period, I will go through this manuscript. Give it to me. So he took it from me and he went through it and made a few comments here and there. Not many, not much to add or subtract, just 4 or 5 places. He scribbled a little with his pen and then he wrote a benediction to that. That book was published. This is how a long saga of books has started. That was the starting point. And so that was how Pujya Swamiji blessed this saga of books. And whenever he came to Hyderabad, there was a book and he used to release it and read it beforehand and release it. For example, in a book I put a poem, Mother, and he read it and he said, "Oh, this is a good poem." Like that he complimented. And then he released the book and said a few good words about the book. This went on and on and on. Here also on anniversary, I told you, I am telling about myself, so you have to please bear with this. So on anniversary day, on every anniversary day, I used to be here for every anniversary. Recently I was missing a few anniversaries, but at the time I was here. And on every anniversary day a book will be released. For example, Sri Dakshinamurti Stotram in English, published by a publisher in Delhi, and it was dedicated to Pujya Swamiji and it was released. Aditya Hardayam, dedicated to my parents, was released here by Pujya Swamiji. Then Ganapati Upanishad, released by Pujya Swamiji. In Hyderabad, Panchikaranam with Vartikam, released by Pujya Swamiji. Vaidika Sukta Manjari, he released it. Like that, countless number of books he released. And so the saga which was started, he entrusted only 2 jobs for me. I was a very active member of Vishwa Hindu Parishad and RSS those days. He said, all that is great, that is fine, but I ask you to do 2 things. Study, teach and write book. only this much. And I took out that teach word. Somehow I don't believe in it. I don't call myself teacher, and what I do, I call it I don't call it teaching. So I say I share with people. Okay, whatever name you give to it, do it. So study, share with people, and make a book. Allow the book to come. Don't block it. Allow the book to come. And then one day, the publication and research organization is there in Chennai. And those people came to Hyderabad. The head and others have come to Hyderabad. He called them and told them, I was sitting there. You see, this is Swami's books are good books. You put them in your catalog. That is what he told them. So like that, this saga of books was almost entirely inspired by Pujya Swamiji. There were a few books earlier also, before sannyasa. That's why I said almost entirely. So, after sannyasa, it was the inspiration of Pujya Swamiji to do these three things. One is Brahma Vidya, second is Brahma Vidya, third is Brahma Vidya. Only three things. So, and as a part of that effort, inspired by Pujya Swamiji, so the books have come. One day I made a book in Telugu here, and a 670 pages book, Sutta Samhita, and it's a Telugu commentary. And he saw it. What is that bundle? I said, a book in Telugu. Let me see. He saw it. Of course it is in Telugu. He said, is it ready for publication? Yes. In those days we never had this USB and all that. You used to make a copy, the manuscript, as a hard copy and give it to the printer. And he will take photograph of these pages and make a folder and print it. That is how it goes. Therefore, that was the hard copy, this big hard copy to be published. Then he said, when are you publishing? Sir, when I go back to India, I will publish. When are you going to India? After 2 months. No, it cannot wait for 2 months. It has to go immediately. How it will go for immediately? Because FedEx charges a lot of money. That was my concern. I was a miserly person always. So, no, we don't want FedEx pay so much money to the FedEx. Even if ashram pays for it, still. And when I go there, I will get it published. He said, no. Give it in the bookstore. They will send by FedEx. And by the time you reach there, it will be published. That is how it happened. Sutta Samhita Saraha, it's a popular book in Telugu. All these books became very popular. The original Dakshinamurti Stotram, which he inspired and he went through and wrote a benediction, that book was printed a second time, a third time. Then Sanskrita Bharati people, they were celebrating the 25th anniversary, and they said they needed to publish 25 books in Sanskrit. They must be in Sanskrit. They were searching for books, quality books, 25 books they have to publish, and somebody noticed this book. They said, we will publish it. So then I have to surrender the rights to them. I did it. Because what are these rights? The books have to go to people. Therefore, now the book is published by Sanskrita Bharati, and from then on they are not available. No copies are available around. So if today we want a copy, even if I want a copy, I have to go to Sanskrita Bharati and get it. So this is the saga that went on, and now we are going to release a book being released. And that book is Saddarshanam. And it was a tough work, I tell you. 4 years the work it took, and teaching took 4 years, book took another 4 years, and our friend Terry, and of course Sri Puppala B back in Hyderabad, and then a score of other students were involved in making this book a reality. I personally felt for 4 years, continuously, hour after hour, sit before the computer, go through it again and again. Like that, I felt it was a tough task. But then it came out. And when it came out, it was received quite well. And people have given accolades to the book. And the book is already popular. That much I know. I have a measure of the popularity. Suppose I have 30 boxes, now I am left with only 10 boxes. That shows it is popular. So that is how it goes on. And now the book will be released later. The book will be released later. Okay? And then Swamini Sri Vidyanandaji, Sri follows these classes very seriously, and I am very privileged and pleased to see that. And then she has the knack of putting the subject matter in a particular format that will be attractive, enticing for the readers. And so make it into a capsule and present before the people. Because nowadays, people do not have any kind of attention span. Once the YouTube was discovered, people's attention span was destroyed. So that is how the connection is there between YouTube and attention span. So now it will be nice to make a small book or a booklet and offer it with an important subject, useful for the students of Vedanta. Like that, Amma has selected 5 topics, and we made 5 booklets with the help of 5 sponsors. And all of them were published in India. We published the first one, Meditation, a happening here. And we made 250 copies for a certain amount. And then when I went back to India, for the same amount I made 3,000 copies. That is the difference. That amount you spend, 250 copies here is equivalent to 3,000 copies back in India. But then there will be transport charges. But there will be no transport charges if I carry them myself. So that is how it works. Mostly that is the method by which it works, because the 2 boxes that I check in have only books and nothing else. And personal items are always in the check-in bag, that much personal items. So this is how it was a commitment to make a book and make it good, keep the student in the mind. The book is ever made on 2 principles. One, it should not be yet another book of Vedanta. It should have something novel or useful for the student, something unique to contribute to the literature of Vedanta. Something must be there, something unique and novel and something creative. That is the word I was looking for. Something creative must be there in it. Not every page or every line, but overall the book must be adding to the creative understanding of Vedanta. That is the way only the book is made. That is one principle. The second principle is, it is not meant for aggrandizing the speaker or the author. It is not meant for making some name and fame, certainly. And also it is not meant for making money. It is only meant for worshipping the Ishvara in the hearts of all people. That is it is a worship. The heart is the temple. God is present in every human heart as Ishvara, and you worship that Ishvara. You propitiate that Ishvara with the help of a nice book that describes the glory of Ishvara in one facet or the other. That was the purpose. With that purpose only, based on those 2 principles only, these books are made. There is no other kind of emotional attachment or anything to these books. Now, it was a long saga of books coming out. They were not made by a person. They were happening, like meditation, a happening. Like that, every one of the books is a happening. Inspired by Pujya Swamiji on the date, 98 or 99. And then the saga has reached a point of 100 today. So Saddarshanam is the 100th book. Books in Telugu, English, and an occasional Sanskrit one. So 100 books have come. And then the small 5 booklets which were made by the inspiration of Swami Sri Vidyanandaji, that becomes the 101, the 101st one. So these 2 things are being released today. I consider it as a great privilege. And as I already mentioned, when you ask me to tell about Pujya Swamiji, I will be telling about myself only, like everybody else. Okay? So that is how it works. And then I did not do it for that reason till today. But today I put my shyness aside and did it. So because today happens to be a very auspicious occasion of Aradhana, and so on this day if we don't share these few ideas, these few thoughts in the heart, then when will we say? So this is the occasion. And some of the sponsors of these booklets are also in the audience, and so I am grateful to all of them and all the people who worked with me, and also Swamini Sri Vidyanandaji for all her inspiration and effort. So thank you for your kind attention. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, Swamiji, for sharing your wonderful experiences that you had with the Pujya Swamiji, with your spiritual journey. And Swamiji kept on telling, I will end up saying about myself, but ultimately Tatparya is Swamiji. So next we'll move on to the next program is Swami Viditatmanji's recorded message received from India. It will run for 15 minutes. Please listen to it. Then we'll get ready for releasing the book. And Swamiji has already summarized the essence of the book. And I have to give 5 minutes to Swamini Sri Vidyanandaji to acknowledge the people who have financially helped to make this happen. So now I request Sri Panduji to begin Swami Viditatmanji's talk.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Today is the 8th Aradhana day of Pujya Swamiji. Pujya Swamiji left us in 2015. In 2023 September, we are celebrating the 8th Aradhana of Pujya Swamiji. There is one verse of the Guru Stotra which I feel is very descriptive of Pujya Swamiji. Sarva Shruti Shiro Ratna Virajita Padambujaha Vedantambuja Suryoyaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. To that Shri Guru, my namaskara, my salutations. Vedantambuja Suryaha Yaha, who is Suryaha, the sun, for Vedantambuja, for Ambuja, the lotus of Vedanta. The Guru, who is like a sun, S-U-N, sun, for the lotus of Vedanta. How the lotus blossoms in the presence of sun. So also we always found Vedanta blossomed in the presence of Pujya Swamiji. Of course, Vedanta is complete in itself, but then what we derive from Vedanta, the benefit that we derive from Vedanta, very much depends upon the one who unfolds Vedanta. And that is where Pujya Swamiji was non-dual, meaning that incomparable. in relatively simple language, in a rather simple manner also, the statements of Vedanta came alive when uttered from the lips of Pujya Swamiji. There are many important things or unique things that Pujya Swamiji pointed out of Vedanta. One that I can recollect now is what is Ishvara, what is his knowledge. Pujya Swamiji always said, what is the Ishvara? But importantly, Lord Pujya Swamiji also said, what is his Ishvara? What is his knowledge? Or you can say, what is his omniscience? Ishvara is all knowledge, omniscience, and knowledge or omniscience of Ishvara is manifest as the universe. But every flower, every leaf, every insect, but every cell also is a manifestation of omniscience. Someone said that to know totally a given cell in the stomach of a given animal in Australia, you have to know the whole world. It is true. The whole world is interconnected and you should know everything in order to totally know one thing. Our Pujya Swamiji was fond of saying this. That when can you unfold a given verse of Sri Bhagavad Gita? When you know all the verses of Bhagavad Gita, because each verse is connected to every other verse in the Gita. And when do you know all the verses? When you know all the verses, then you can unfold one verse. To unfold one verse, you should know that verse and all the verses. It's like a catch-22. Therefore, who can ideally unfold a verse of, say, Bhagavad Gita? One who knows all the verses. One who has the vision of the entire Gita. And that was the reason why Pujya Swami emphasized that we should listen to Vedanta from a competent guru who has a total perspective of the scriptures, who has acquired an identification with their vision and therefore the scriptures. And therefore the Kathopanishad says, the Guru in fact unfolds himself while unfolding Vedanta. In that sense, it is understandable that every Vakya or statement of Vedanta will come alive when communicated by someone like Pujya Swamiji, because through that he communicated himself. And therefore, a few things that Pujya Swamiji was fond of saying, one of them was, what is the Ishvara? Meaning what is knowledge. what is this manifestation of knowledge? Or we can say, what is the manifestation of omniscience? This I have said earlier in the classes also, that if you can take into account this thumbprint, this one thumbprint requires omniscience in order to create it. Because there is no thumbprint like this in the present. If there is an identical thumbprint, then the intelligence agencies cannot trace me from this thumbprint. But they know there is nobody else who has that thumbprint. Not only that, nobody has this thumbprint in the present, but nobody had it in the past, because FBI and CBI have millions of thumbprints, and none of them will be identical to this. And they are quite sure that there will not be a thumbprint like this in future also. There was no thumbprint like this. There is no thumbprint like this presently. There will not be a thumbprint like this in future. Therefore, this thumbprint, in fact, manifests omniscience of the one who created the thumbprint. And that goes for everything, for every insect, for every flower, for every leaf, river, mountain, whatever there is in the universe. Each of that is a manifestation of omniscience. And where omniscience is, where total knowledge is, there cannot be raga dvesha, there cannot be any partiality or cruelty. There can only be compassion. And therefore we can say that this creation also is a manifestation of compassion of the Lord. Although many people may object to this statement, because we seem to see a lot of cruelty in the universe. How do you say, Swamiji, this universe is manifestation of compassion? When you take the whole universe in its totality, then you find that everything has its place, including what appears to be cruelty from a narrow standpoint also has its place in the universal standpoint. And that what is in place in the whole universe. What is knowledge, what is compassion, and therefore what is ananda. Ananda devakal vimani bhutani jayante. Upanishad says that all the beings are born of ananda, sustained by ananda. They merge back into ananda. What is ananda? Anando brahmeti vyajanat. Bhru came to know that ananda is Brahman. So that there is ananda everywhere, this is what Pujya Swamiji enjoyed unfolding. There is grace everywhere, that's another thing that Swamiji liked. What is grace? That I can breathe, that I can walk, talk. I should not take anything for granted. And that we are able to do what we are able to do is because every moment we are enjoying the grace. Because the doctors will tell us how complex this body is and how there is a probability or many probability of things going wrong. The things are functioning smoothly in this body itself is a miracle, is grace. So what is there in our life is grace. What is there is compassion. What is there is ananda. What is there is omniscience. What is there is knowledge. So these are the unique ways of explaining Ishvara on the part of Pujya Swamiji. Vedanta muja suryoya, who is Surya, with the sun, for the Ambuja, lotus of Vedanta, in whose presence Vedanta came alive, whose words revealed the real Tatparya, the purport of Vedanta. And they came so easily, effortlessly. No effort needed to be made to communicate. Because when you're living that, you're identified with that, naturally no effort is needed. So that is the greatness of Pujya Swamiji. We can only recognize the blessing that we all enjoyed, that we were the disciples of Pujya Swamiji, and that we came in the contact of Pujya Swamiji, and many of us had many kinds of benefits from Pujya Swamiji, not only as a teacher, but as father, as mother, as mentor, as a friend, philosopher and guide. Those people are very fortunate. So we celebrate today the grace that we enjoyed, how fortunate we were to have known Pujya Swamiji, to have studied from Pujya Swamiji, to have lived with Pujya Swamiji. We seek blessings of Pujya Swamiji, that even in his absence, we continue to receive his grace. Well, I am sure that would be the case because in 2015 when Pujya Swamiji departed, he said in our anniversary program, I am with you, I will be with you. I am sure that is true. So that Pujya Swamiji is with us, that we are enjoying his grace and affection. And we pray that let us recognize the grace that we are enjoying, recognize the affection that we are enjoying, that how fortunate we are to have been exposed to this, to enjoying this grace. And we pray to Pujya Swamiji to continue his blessing upon all of us. Hari Om.
Pranams and gratitude to Swami Tattvavidanandaji for finding time to record this wonderful, heart-touching, inspirational message on the occasion of 8th Aradhana of Pujya Swamiji. Now moving forward with our next program. The books authored by Swami Tattvavidanandaji already have been explained. So I will just read a small write-up given by Swami Tattvavidanandaji about the books. So number one is Saddarshanam. Swamiji has already given information. This book is actually named as Inspirations because inside are 5 booklets featuring excerpts from Swami Tattvavidanandaji's inspiring lectures. Each 40-page booklet is dedicated to one topic, such as the higher power, salient topics: Sharanagati, the echoes of glory, meditation, a happening. The contents are drawn from classes dating back to 2 decades to the present. Regardless the time frame, long or short, memory sometimes poses problems when we try to recollect certain points. For example, if we are all unable to recall what Swami Tattvavidanandaji expounded on while unfolding Dakshinamurti Stotram in 2001, Gajendra Moksha in 2006, Drik Drishya Viveka as recent 2022, you will surely come across something of interest in these booklets. And so, these booklets, though small, hold fund of information which will be immense help in our study of Vedanta. Thank you, Swamiji, for giving a wonderful job. Now, one by one, as suggested by Swamiji, we have 2 board members here today, correct? Dr. Pramod Deshmukh and Ravi Bhatina, Dr. Ravi Bhatina. Swamiji suggested that the Saddarshanam book will be released by Dr. Pramod Deshmukh. Pramodji, please come and help us to release the book and take blessings of Pujya Swamiji and all Mahatmas. Would like to say a few words, Pramodji?
I think this recognizes that I'm becoming old. So I've become senior now. Anyway, so where's the book? So, that's Sharadarshanam.
Next, I request Dr. Ravi Bhatina to come here and release the bookcase. Inspiration. Show one by one and read it.
Hari Om. I will release the book, but I will say something about myself, just for only one sentence. I came to this country at the age of 33 in 1974. I always feel and tell I'm a better Hindu now than when I grew up in India, all because of Pujya Swamiji's. I'm getting goosebumps. Swamiji made my life. I know many other people had his blessings. I'm ever grateful to Pujya Swamiji. Hari Om. Inspirations.
Can get more copies and give it to other Mahatmas later, I think. Yeah. Thank you. I think it's a set, we should not disturb it. It's a set, so it will go together. That's kind gesture from Ravi Bhatina. Thank you, Raviji. So, 2 books are released today. And you are very young, Pramodji and Raviji. So, release a book, firstly of 5 books, and done by our Dr. Ravi Bhatina. There will be some remarks from Swami Tattvavidanandaji, which he already covered in his talk. Some you would like to say a few more words about these books? Yes, Swamiji. Said that's good. Okay. Yes. Swamiji is not making mandatory rule, but he says that if you keep 5 together, it will make sense. Now I invite Swami Tattvavidanandaji to come and thank the donors.
I always have a problem with this mic right in front of my face and then my script. So if I'm moving here and there, you know why. Namaskaram, Swamijis, Swaminis, and friends. It is indeed a joy and a blessing to share this moment with all of you. But then again, this speaker is not the only player in this production called Inspirations. Behind the curtains and wings are many more dedicated players. It's my pleasure to introduce them to you. Eight years ago, short of 1 month, we heard the word grace in this very hall that Pujya Sri Swamiji uttered again and again and again before he departed from this hallowed place. So now to say that grace flowed through our sponsors overwhelmingly would be an understatement. Such was the enthusiastic responses. They kept on asking me, please let us know what more we can do. Please don't hesitate. Mind you, they are not just your run-of-the-mill punyam-seeking givers. Giving is ingrained in their very being, and they are part of the woodwork of the Gurukulam. We are grateful to the magnanimity of Doctors Urmila and Prem Killanani, Meena and Dr. Prasad Mantravadi, Vani and Karthik Ramagopal, and they are here, I believe, and 2 other sponsors who prefer to remain anonymous. Now, Sri Swamiji also took on an indispensable role in this production. His tireless efforts made it possible for the booklets to be printed in India. Every last detail, from the packing to mailing to couriers in various parts of India, was carried out under Swamiji's supervision. When words cannot give expression to such an act of seva, how can we mortals, right? Now, our courier service, comprising of Gurukulam members visiting India, played an incredible role in transporting the precious cargo. Dr. Shalini Bayadgi, Vani and Karthik, Doctors Varalakshmi and Niranjan, Dr. Tulasi Chandrasekhar, Manoj Varang, and Usha and Chandrasekhar's family members. We appreciate all your efforts and grateful for the same. The bookcases are the creation of Nandini Karanje and Rekha Marvin Kurve of Urvi, which is a non-profit organization in Bengaluru. Believe me, it was no child's play, these bookcases. Every one of them is worth their weight in gold. Nandini and Rekha went above the call of duty in providing this seva. We were introduced to them by our own Mangesh Hoskote, which proved to be a great blessing in disguise. Much appreciation to these long-distance players. I think Nandini and Rekha are tuning into this book release in Bangalore. The next player that I am a little, not hesitant, a little scared actually. This important player in the wings was our Asthana editor. I'll say why I'm a little hesitant, because with this speaker's constant nagging and phone calls must have made him an epitome of patience by now. I would go on calling and saying, "Should it be this way, Terry?" And moments later, in phone call number 10 or 12, "Maybe not, let's try another way." And again later, "Please make the boxes around the coat smaller. Maybe wider? What do you think? Lower?" And so on and on and on. Honestly, anyone else would have tossed the manuscript out and walked away, saying, "Gone with the wind." Heartfelt gratitude to you, Terry. And the final episode was played by the bookstore staff under the able guidance of Prasanna. Barb, Anthony, Dr. Balakrishna Rao, and Dr. Shiv Banjan sorted the booklets in sets of 5, as you saw. He inserted them in the cases deftly to look as elegant and professional as this. We are very much obliged to you, Prasanna, and I think the others may be in the hall also. Finally, friends, I know what's going through your minds. Are you asking, what about the Shudradari or Sutradari? The producer, director, narrator, all rolled into one? The one who has played the major role? Should we not extend our appreciation to the one who has been bringing these plays to us year after year with their infinite patience? Yes, certainly we would. Until a few minutes ago, I would have said, well, this person always shies away from any kind of a display, so maybe we should not say anything. But then we heard from the horse's mouth a few minutes ago, I have set aside the shyness. So, dear Swamiji, I know this has been done already. We offer your own words to you with unbounded love, respect, and gratitude. The last verse not Lalita Sahasranamam, but Devi's. No. There's 100 verses in that, Swamiji. No. Anyway, it came to my help to offer your own words, as I said, because in the last verse, the author says, "Hey Janani, I am offering these stotras comprising of your own words." And that is where I got that from. Thank you again. And thank you all for your patience.
Thank you, Swamiji. Once again, big round of applause to everyone who has involved in this book. Yes, Terry. Thank you all. Before we move to the next program, there are a few announcements. Then Swamiji will quickly chant Shiva Stotra and do afternoon Arati and conclude. So we extend our pranams to each of our Swamijis and thank you all, the online viewers and everyone in attendance for attending the event. And yes, Shiva. We thank each and everyone, that includes all campers, attendees, guests, the Gurukulam staff, our priest Ganeshan, and our Suryaji also helped today, and our chef Ram and Taraben and their team and everyone. Give them a big round of applause. Of course, our Sahadev, I don't know, without telling us, he just disappeared. But he guided them online, and so I thank Sahadev, Chitra, Pandu, Raji, and everyone. The foreign team, a great job with audio and visual. And after the Ashtotara, then after Narati, Swamijis are honored through the Puja Prasadam offered by priest. And after that, I request Shri Chandrasekhar and Tulsi Chandrasekhar to come here and honor our priest. And I request Terry Ko. I request Shri Ramalu and Srimati Ramalu to come and garland Swamiji when priest give prasad to Swamiji. It will be followed later. I will guide you. Now I request Swami Tattvavidanandaji to chant Shiva Stotra.
Om. So Sri Shuddhatma wants me to chant fast, I will try. Om Shivaya Namaha, Om Maheshwaraya Namaha, Om Shambhave Namaha, Om Pinakine Namaha, Om Shishishekharaya Namaha, Om Vamadevaya Namaha, Om Virupakshaya Namaha, Om Kapardine Namaha, Om Neelalohitaya Namaha, Om Shankaraya Namaha, Om Sholapanaye Namaha, Om Khatvangine Namaha, Om Vishnuvallabhaya Namaha, Om Shipivishtaye Namaha, Om Ambikanathaya Namaha, Om Shrikantaya Namaha, Om Bhaktavatsalaya Namaha, Om Bhavaya Namaha, Om Sharvaya Namaha, Om Trilokeshaya Namaha, Om Shitikanthaya Namaha, Om Shiva Priyaya Namaha, Om Ugraya Namaha, Om Kapalane Namaha, Om Kamaraya Namaha, Om Andhakasura Sudanaya Namaha, Om Gangadharaya Namaha, Om Lalatakshay Namaha, Om Kalakalaya Namaha, Om Krupanithaye Namaha, Om Bhimaya Namaha, Om Parashvastaya Namaha, Om Ragapanaye Namaha, Om Jatadharaya Namaha, Om Kailasavasane Namaha, Om Kavachane Namaha, Om Kathoraya Namaha, Om Tripurantakaya Namaha, Om Vrushankaya Namaha, Om Vrushabharudhaya Namaha, Om Bhasmodhulita Vigrahaya Namaha, Om Samapriyaya Namaha, Om Swaramaya Namaha, Om Trayimurtaye Namaha, Om Anishwaraya Namaha, Om Sarvajnaya Namaha, Om Paramatmane Namaha, Om Somasuryagnilochanaya Namaha, Om Havishe Namaha, Om Yajnamayaya Namaha, Om Somaya Namaha, Om Panchavakraya Namaha, Om Sadashivaya Namaha, Om Vishveshwaraya Namaha, Om Veerabhadraya Namaha, Om Gananathaya Namaha, Om Prajapataye Namaha, Om Hiranyaretase Namaha, Om Durdharshaya Namaha, Om Girishaya Namaha, Om Girishaya Namaha, Om Anaghaya Namaha, Om Bhujanga Bhushanaya Namaha, Om Bhargaya Namaha, Om Giridhanvane Namaha, Om Giripriyaya Namaha, Om Krutivasase Namaha, Om Purarataye Namaha, Om Bhagavate Namaha, Om Pramathadhipaya Namaha, Om Mrityunjayaya Namaha, Om Sukshmatanave Namaha, Om Jagadvyapine Namaha, Om Jagadgurave Namaha, Om Yomakeshaya Namaha, Om Mahasenajanakaya Namaha, Om Charuvikramaya Namaha, Om Rudraya Namaha, Om Bhutapataye Namaha, Om Sthanave Namaha, Om Ahaye Buddhniyaya Namaha, Om Digambaraya Namaha, Om Ashtamurtaye Namaha, Om Anekatmane Namaha, Om Satvikaya Namaha, Om Shuddha Vigrahaya Namaha, Om Shashvataya Namaha, Om Khandaparashave Namaha, Om Ajaya Namaha, Om Pashavimochakaya Namaha, Om Rudaya Namaha, Om Pashupataye Namaha, Om Devaya Namaha, Om Mahadevaya Namaha, Om Avyayaya Namaha, Om Haraye Namaha, Om Poshadantabhide Namaha, Om Avyagraya Namaha, Om Dakshadvarharaya Namaha, Om Haraya Namaha, Om Bhaganetrabhide Namaha, Om Avyaktaya Namaha, Om Sahasrakshaya Namaha, Om Sahasrapade Namaha, Om Apavargapradaya Namaha, Om Anantaya Namaha, Om Tarakaya Namaha, Om
Samparpayami. Luckily. It was really fast, Swamiji. Thank you. I shouldn't have pressurized you like that. I'm sorry.
Om Dhur Dhur Vadhur Vantam Dhur Vadaya Osman Dhur Vaditam Dhur Bhayam Vayam Dhur Vamaha Dhupavakra Payami Om Buddhi Ekasyajaveto Bhakshannagadadivama Pasogastavakhyabhavaha Jivana Jadito Disha Deepam Pradarshayami Dhupadipanantram Achabadiyam Samarprayami Bhuvasuvaha Tatsavidarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Devihi Dhiyo Satyam Vartena Pradiyam
Yeah. After Narati and concluding this puja. Our upcoming programs, 5-week Vedanta course with Swamiji, Swami Tattvavidanandaji on Brahma Sutra starts on September 26th for 5 weeks. Of course, in-house accommodation is full, but online is always available. The course begins at 9 a.m. on 26th. 8:30 we are getting together to discuss the program, and sharp at 8:55 Swamiji will come and begin the class. तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। राजाय प्रसंयसाहिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे। समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो। विश्वादियो रुद्रो महर्षिः हिरण्यगर्भं पश्यत जायमानगं सनो देव शुभया स्मृत्या संयुनक्तो। यस्मात् परं नापरमस्ति किञ्चिद्यस्मात् नानीयो न ज्यायोऽस्ति कश्चित्। वृक्षगिवस्तब्धो दिवि तिष्ठत्ते कस्ते नेदं पूर्णं पुरुषेण सर्वं। न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः। परेण नाकं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते यद्यतयो विशन्ति। वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्था संन्यासयोगात् यतय। परमेश्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमद्य सग्गस्तं। तत्रापि दर्शं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन्यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यं। यो वेदादौ स्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः। तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः। हर हर महादेव। भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः। सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय। मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते। पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ. We invite you to join us for lunch prepared by Chef Ram and his team. Once again, thank you again for joining us, and we hope to see you more often for our programs and events. Now I request Dr. Ramalu and Arunaji to come and offer garland to Swami Tattvavidanandaji. And take blessings from Swamiji and all other Swamijis and Pujya Swamiji. One.
अन्नवानं नागो भवति महान् भवति
प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या.
Swamiji received prasad on behalf of all the Mahatmas and everyone. Now, today is Ekadashi. No, not Ekadashi. So, thank you all for joining us, and please go and have some short food prepared by our chef. And once again, thank you all. Hope to see you all more often for our programs. Take care and stay healthy.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Now I request Chandrasekhar ji and Tulsi to come and honor our priests. I think Dr. Aruna Ramulu misplaced her purse, I believe. If someone has found it, please let us know. Huh? No, that's not the... I don't know whether that one. Anyway, they will sort it out. I have announced it. If you happen to see, please give it to her. So please, Tulsi ji and Chandrasekhar ji, please come. Surya. Surya ji. Where is Brahmachari Surya? Hello. Inge vango. Thank you all. Thank you, priest. Okay. Yes, please go to, and you can come and have darshan. Meanwhile, we'll listen to Pujya Swamiji's bhajan.
Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om 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 Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om
Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Got it done, that's all. Except for ಅದೊಂದು ಮೈಕ್ ಅದು ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಕಿವಿನಲ್ಲಿ
मोरिलागी लगन चरणनकी मोरिलागी लगन चरणनकी चरणनकी गुरु चरणनकी प्रभु चरणनकी गुरु चरणनकी प्रभु चरणनकी गुरु चरणनकी प्रभु चरणनकी गुरु चरणनकी प्रभु मोरिलागी लगन गुरु चरणनकी मोरिलागी लगन गुरु चरणनकी चरण बिना मुझे कछु नहीं भावे चरण बिना मुझे कछु नहीं भावे चरण बिना मुझे कछु नहीं भावे चरण बिना